Is waterfall the right life cycle, or should you go for agile or hybrid one for your project? I am going to share with you a real life example of one of my projects and show you how we selected the hybrid approach as the best one for our project. Hi, I am Daud Nasir, project management coach and trainer. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, please do check out the channel and consider subscribing. Thank you. Once upon a time, well, the year was 2005, so this was a long time ago. It was the time when no one in my circle or I had heard the term hybrid life cycle. So as I share with you my story, you will see how my project's conditions can be checked against the agile suitability model that we now consider for selecting the project life cycle. At that time for us, it was driven by the proverb, necessity is the mother of invention. Procter & Gamble bought Gillette Company, and it was time to move Gillette business to P&G systems. I was asked to take on the Gillette integration project to move Gillette Canada's ordering, shipping, and billing to P&G systems, as Gillette systems would be decommissioned. I was the seller's project manager, Hewlett Packard as the seller and Procter & Gamble the client. I started as usual by meeting the client side project lead, but it became obvious very quickly that only project objective was clear. The scope and requirements were unknown. We did not know what needs to be done to switch the business to P&G systems. The product databases were totally different, as if written in some alien language, or that's how it seemed at that time. We were totally in the dark about the required system changes. So the only option was to start discovering the requirements. However, the challenge was that once we have figured out a requirement, it may change in some cases because we were dealing with system integration. All requirements had to be synced and made to work. One thing missed in the ordering can create problems in billing downstream. So finalizing the requirements would not be easy. This was a critical project for the client and had the visibility at the highest level in the organization. If we were unable to deliver the project on time, or if there were defects, the client may suffer serious loss of revenue. So that was something on our minds right from the beginning, that completion on time and quality was of prime importance. This pushed us towards being more flexible and open in the discovery stage. Another thing was whether we should deliver lump sum or in increments. The whole project could not be incremental because the whole supply chain had to work to call it a success. Also, we could not have it all predictive, as it would be too risky with unknown scope. What it meant was that we may be able to get feedback of stakeholders for some parts, but not all. Specifically, through incremental work, we can get feedback on product database, but not on order processing, shipping, and billing. That put us in the middle of agile and predictive. So you can see that all the three factors under project category were pointing to the hybrid model. Hey, if you like this video so far, please press the thumbs up so others get it in their feed too and benefit from it. Thank you. Now, another area we had to consider was how to structure the project team. We decided with two distinct teams, one on client side, product database team, and one on the seller side, the development team. Coordination was mostly at the team lead level to avoid miscommunication, but some team members were to work directly. Team sizes were between 6 and 9. This would make it easy to have a lot of interaction among team members. My expectation was that the team members will self-organize during the discovery stage. In terms of experience, both teams had a couple of people highly experienced in their domain, while the rest of the teams were fairly broad skilled. This factor was in favor of the agile approach and allowed for the team to be self-organizing. However, I still had to provide the overall direction and guidance. One other aspect was that the team will not have access to business people on a daily basis. The culture did not allow it. The workload of business side would make it difficult. And even we were not clear why we would need to engage them daily. It would seem better that they are available on demand whenever we need them. Even that would not be easy. So we would need to work on this. Now, another thing I had to consider was whether the client was willing to accept this hybrid approach. I mean, would their culture support it? During initial discussions with the client team lead, we established that predictive approach won't work and would give us too many headaches. So hybrid approach was mutually decided. We didn't call it hybrid. Instead, we said, let's do the discovery, analysis, and high-level design the agile way. And then once we are clear about the requirements and overall design, we go with detailed design, development, and testing using the predictive approach. As I had worked with the same client team lead previously, there was a high level of trust that existed when we started this project. There was this belief that my team can deliver this project successfully. So that trust paved the way for adopting the agile approach for the first part. As a seller's PM, you can imagine it may be difficult to make independent decisions, especially about the design. But the trust factor made the product owner consider our recommendations with high regard. As far as the development, testing, and deployment was concerned, my team had the ability and authority to take those decisions, except the decisions to move increments into production. So you can see that the agile suitability model shows that the hybrid approach was best suitable for this project. That is what we went with. First half of the project was agile and the second half was predictive. I hope this example gave you a good idea of how to go about selecting the best lifecycle for your project, especially the hybrid lifecycle. I would love to see your comments below. Thanks for watching.